Got a new battery in. Let's go. You think cold start? We're on the handlebars. Hand cold start? Chokes off. Let's see what happens. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a good one. Alright, let's see how well this works. I think it's hot enough. It's starting to ooze out the end of the tip, so. We'll start marginally and work our way up. See if that's enough. I think I remember last time I was trying to take a really big dent out of something, and I ended up going with a regular glue gun. So let's give it a shot. Just because the regular glue it held much better. Yeah, that wasn't very much that I was holding on by though. So let's go load it up really good. And we'll let it sit. It would help if I could be ready for it, wouldn't it? Alright, let's try that again. I even took this and kind of cuffed it up with some sandpaper. And if this doesn't work, we're just going to run what we got. You think that's enough? I'm going to let that cool for a couple of minutes and then we'll try it again. See if I can get you a little better angle. Show the profile. The only thing I feel happening is this bending. Started to pull up. Actually, I may have done a little bit of something. What do you think? Maybe we'll try right there. Try the next one right there and then jump around. The only problem is the closer you get to this side, you don't have anything on the heel to kind of push off of. Yeah, let's go try it again. one just lifted up. I saw it. See it lift? It's gonna stay. Let's go to little pops. Take a little bit of paint with it right there. That came up. So I say we try maybe right there, and then again right here, and then we'll leave it alone. And let's try it again. If I had to do it over again, what I would do is I would have applied pressure with this on the outside of it and then reached in with the pry bar and kind of pushed up on it. I think that would have been a good combination, but that's life. You learn as you go along. And someone's calling. It's lifting. And one more right there. So I went to go clean this off, and it was fighting me because I had so much on it. So I hit it with like the heat gun at a little bit of a distance, and it all got nice and shiny, and I wiped it off. But actually what I should have done is just hit it with the heat gun and stuck it right back on next time. So let's do one more. Let's go for right dead center. See what that does for us. Probably the last time I try this, and probably what I'll do is just like what I said with the pry bar, pushing it from the inside while I'm doing this. Nothing says after it's sealed why I still can't do that, so maybe that's what we'll wait for. Where is my goodies? There's that and that. There we go. See if you can get the profile of it lifting. So my thought is that if I was able to leave it like right there and hit it with a pry bar from the inside of it, I think we can get it. It's like right there is decent, but as soon as it pops off, it's going to spring back. I don't know if I should kind of like tap around it with something soft. What's your thoughts? So you guys only thought I had that one body hammer. No, I have one that's reserved for doing fine body work. I took some tape and wrapped it on there just to try to help save the paint a little bit, but I figured I can do that. That worked well, huh? It actually is out much better than it was. I might do one more right there. I know I said I was going to stop. Alright, one more. I'm going to leave it alone. And we'll try what I said with heating it up. And just stick it right back on again. Instead of trying to peel it off and do it all over. The glue will last forever that way. Let that cool off, and I'll give one more tug. All I'm doing is watching to see when that kind of changes over. It changes, goes to like a off white from a clear. It's like playing Jenga. That last pull, I just felt it way up. Waiting for this to break. It's not going to pop at all. Now I think you're supposed to be able to take the little probing tool and kind of like get under it. This thing. You're supposed to be able like to dig under it. And once you get the air to go through. Or I'm going to melt the whole thing. There it goes. Hold on, guys. That did a lot. Yep, so I'm going to leave it alone for now, and then maybe later on we can kind of jump back after the inside's cured, and we'll do the same as far as playing with it a little bit more. But that's definitely out a lot further than it was before. Clean the schmegma off of it. Let's see if a little PB will break up all that crap that's on there. A little more playing with it should do it. Again, better than it was. Hey guys, and how's it going? It's a couple days since I've been playing with this bike, but it is up on the lift. I'm not sure. I shot a bunch of video before on this bike, and if it was a separate video, it may be a standalone video by itself, or it might be, this might be a continuation of that same video. So either way, here's where we are and what's happening. So I picked up all the parts. I picked the bike up at the yard sale for 1-400. I had some issues that I saw right away. I offered 200. He took it. I own it. It's past the VIN verification, which is in our state, they make sure that just something is not stolen, and you can transfer a bike with a bill of sale. And they run the VIN number and make sure everything's okay with it, and that the VIN number that's on the bill of sale matches the bike. Well, that's good. I own the bike. We're all set there. Ordered a bunch of parts for it. Got them in, new chains, tune-up parts, already new battery in it, and we're running it off that battery. I drove this thing around for about an hour in like first and second gear, and just doing like a slow race in the yard, just like it sits right now with that for a gas tank. And just kind of putting it around and not putting your feet down, and just kind of, you know, I wanted to run the thing for a while to make sure what we had. And ran great. It's a fun bike. It's nice and light. Got a decent amount of snot to it too. One big problem though, and the big problem is a third gear. You put it in third gear, it clunks and bangs and cracks, and I believe it probably has a broken tooth on one of the gears. So what that means is this whole thing has to get torn down. It's, you know, it's in there. So engine's got to come out, cylinder jug, split the case all the way down to nothing, find out what's wrong with it, order parts, get it put back together. So that is the mission that is at hand. It's a decent one. I wouldn't rather have to do it, but it is what it is, and we got to move forward. And again, that's why when I buy stuff at a yard sale, I'm going to buy it cheap, or I'm not going to buy it at all if it's not running, because you just don't know what you have. And, you know, just the case in this one, you know. If I would have caught that before I bought the other pieces, I probably would have put the bike back on Craigslist and sold it, saying it's got the issues with third gears, but it does run, and kind of punt it. But we're in it this far. We're gonna move forward. Plus, I figure I'd make a good video too, and we'll do what we do. Gas tank has been all done and sealed and repaired, and it looks pretty decent inside. It's been sealed with the sealer. And that's probably been about 2 weeks or so. I had to also put some external gas tank patch. That is a kit that goes on there with some fiberglass matting and two-part epoxy. So that kind of sealed the outside, and then the inside gets sealed with the, I think it was Pour 15 stuff. Gas tank sealer. So that's good. I actually have the Vespa gas tank out here somewhere too, while I still have this stuff before it goes bad, the cream that I sprayed in there, rolled around in there. I want to go do the Vespa tank. It's somewhere close. It's right behind me. So that one is on the menu too, that bike, but again, that's got all the parts for it. That's another video. So this has to come apart. I would say probably if the drain plug's close, before I get the fluids out of it first, just to start with that, and then we'll just start getting and picking away. I'm not going to show all that, but you know, that's probably a tack cable, motor mounts, exhaust, motor mount, carburetor. I'll probably just unbolt it and pull it up to the side, and exhaust has to come off. I'm sure it gets probably pinched with a bunch of bolts back inside here too. One plug, one big plug for the power, which was right here. I'm gonna plug it there, and just a wire going to the points. So I am gonna go start that, and if something looks interesting, I'll take you back. If not, we're gonna see about just getting the motor out and getting the video about that. Let's see what kind of boogers come out of it. If we see a chunk of tooth, then we already know. Looks pretty clean. It's not terrible. You don't see a rainbow of metal, you know what I mean? Maybe you do. Spoke too soon. I'll let that run. So it's in third gear right now, while the oil's still kind of pissing out of it a little bit. And I got the spark plug out of it. I'll spin the back tire, and you could hear the clunking that's happening in it. And it's not the chain jumping over the sprocket. It only does it in third gear. Everything else is fine. So let's see if I can demo it. Don't sound good, does it? So that's why we're tearing into it. So I believe everything is disconnected, and it just has to get out of there. Easier said than done. So I am going to kind of pry up and see if I can get it up and forward off its mounts. A bit of a cripple. So we'll try it, and if not, we'll call Brian over to help puff that thing out of there. What do you think? Just go for it? You know I'm going to pinch myself. Put the drain plug back in it. I wonder if I should have left that out. I'm gonna fondle it. Damn it. I wouldn't think it'd be any different going the other direction. I don't think I'd gain anything. You know, it's like the perfect way to twist it, and it just pops right out of there. I just don't know it. would say, for some odd reason, I tried and prodded on the other side and it just popped sideways, that we should be close enough to get that out of there. Now I'm going to try to make some wood up and give me something to work off of. So we're here on the bench. I was going to make a cradle up. Haven't yet. But I figure what we'll do is we'll take the cylinder head off because we have to. So the end goal is going to be we got to split the case right here and get to the valve train, the gear train rather. And so to do that, you have to get the cylinder head off, but there's a timing chain that runs up to the camshaft up through here, and that has to come off so that the two can come apart. And that has the points cover here. I'm going to pull that off. This cover will come off as an assembly, and then the gear is behind that. I don't quite remember what I have to do to release tension to get that off of there, but we're going to find out. I don't have a book on this. I guess at some point we're going to go online and, you know, if we have to. But for now, we're just going to go and wing it down to as far as we can. Alright, so I saved you some time by taking some of the hardware out. This is the cover was on there, the point plate comes off with 2 screws. I marked it with a marker, just to have a rough idea where the timing would be afterwards. That came off. Then underneath is the mechanical advance. As this spins, the weights go outward, and then the outside of it turns different from the inside of it and advances the timing. That came off. And we should be able to get this cover off of here and see the top cam sprocket. Yeah, do a little light tappy tappy. There's that. But for shits and giggles, actually it's not going to matter. I was going to say I'm going to mark the cover, but it's already got that. So we have to get that guy disconnected. I'm trying to figure out where the tensioner, what it has for a tensioner in it, if it has one at all. I'm wondering if I could just try breaking those 2 screws loose for now, get it to pop up off of there. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try taking those 2 out, see if we can get it to pop forward and off, get enough slack off it to get the gear off. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room to get that chain over the cam, or do I have to take the cam out of it? Just don't know. Let's see if we can get that impact driver. Seems like you looking in the right direction. There you go. See if this will have enough snot to do it. Got one of them. You would figure they'd be Loctited in, right? I don't know if I should mark that because is the mark even going to be able to stay? Well, there's no harm in it, right? I figure we're going to have to go set all the timing and everything up anyway, but let's go with some of that. Let's draw a line right over everything. And hopefully we can pop that guy up. There it goes. I would think this is probably a tensioner coming down on the side of this. There we go, 3. And it's out. Can we? Yeah, I didn't think so. So we're probably going to take the top end apart. Yes. You know how much I just want to lift that right up and over there. I wonder if we take these cylinder head studs off, if it's loose, will we have enough room to do it? I know I got to take all this apart anyway. I'd rather just leave it together because it's going to be a while before I put it back together, so I'd rather just leave whatever I can together. Now we'll try that. So I took loosened up the adjusters for the valves anyway, and see if you can clip on the centers, and just want to spin them right out, see if I have enough clearance to get that camshaft out of there. I gotta do it anyway. I gotta adjust it because everything's gonna be out of adjustment. It's not like I'm saving anything, but again, just for the organization of the parts. The rockers have 2 pins that can come out on the side of the camshaft. It's my problem is this probably should have put it on top dead center. I think the lobes are like that, so it's making it so it doesn't want to come out. And I can't twist it. I gotta come up with something. So I spun it around and was able to get the lobes, I think, where I can get the cam out. Sorry about shaking you guys. Will ya? So close. Bet you I gotta go with the 2 lobes line up there. God, it's like so close. That's the keeper I was talking about. Can you see it? That holds the 2 pins in that holds the rockers in. I may have to take them out too. I'm gonna look better in there though, see if possibly I can rotate it where pain in the ass. I gotta put it all back together. How about now? There we go. Just enough room to do it. So I didn't have to take those pins out. That's good. Doesn't look too beat up. Got some wear on it, but nothing burned up. Alright, now let's get the head bolts off. Let's get that cylinder head off of there. Remember, the 2 heavy washers were on the lower side. Remember that? Thanks. Let's tap on it a little and see if we can get the brake fins off. There you go. This one's going to be one of those. You know, one of those? One of those. Alright, are we free? Looks good. Don't know what it looks like when the piston's down, but we need to. Can we get these guys out of there? I think that's a common fail point, or these guys, or one of these guys. I'm not sure what's holding that bottom one on. I would think maybe behind the alternator there is a another screw. But I don't know if that's going to mess us up right now. I think we can pull the jug probably right up and off of it, and then we'll get it set up on its side. Let's see. Bore's got a little bit of, I'm going to call it staining. Sorry. We'll polish that up, see what it looks like. Onward and inward. I took the whole thing over and I went in a parts washer, washed it all off. It's like knocked some of the heavy crap off. It's still stained, you can see it. Took some duct tape and wrapped up the piston so that doesn't get beat up, and loosened all these screws around with a impact driver. Probably leave those right on. Let's see if we could tap that cover up out of the way. Try to come underneath it, some places where it's hanging, a little bit of brass. We're in further. Hoping we see something obvious here, but I doubt it very much. Make sure the piston doesn't smash into anything. I can see into the gear train down here just a little bit. But I'm going to figure it's going to be right on third gear, but that's, again, just a guess. I do not see any damaged teeth from this side. I don't even know if we had to take that off. I don't know. Now, again, we don't have to split the other side, do we? I would think that those shafts probably come right through, and you know, this is the end of one, this is the end of one, and this is the end of one. So this stuff probably has to come off of there to pull that one out. But again, we don't know what we need to disassemble. So let's. I'm gonna get some padding down on the bench. I'm gonna lay this stuff down on some padding, and right now I got a tin underneath it with a cup in it for that side. Well, let's flip it over, get the screws out of it, and see if we can separate it. Let's crack a bunch of the screws loose. I got one, I forget which one it was already, with the light out of the way. I gotta swing the hammer with the left hand, because the right hand, I broke it. Cracked it. Fractured it. Non-displaced fracture. They called back 2 days later. So yeah, you screwed it up. So I gotta baby it. That one's very loose. Yeah, we can start running around the case. I'm gonna have to put an extension on that. That doesn't look like a very straight shot. Yeah, before I strip it out, I'm gonna put a half-inch extension between there, and then we'll continue the beatings. So that guy is rubbing up against the side of the case, and I can't get a straight shot, so we're going to do a slight modification. I think you get the idea. I don't know which way it's going to split. I don't know if we split this side of the case off and everything stays in that side, or vice versa. But this looks like the easier side to go. So we are going to go with getting anything that goes from a through shaft off of there, which is just going to be the flywheel. Got a puller already set up. Let's see if we can get that guy off of there. Oh, screwing up my wrist. Let's see. Hopefully I'm not blocking your view. If I am, I'm sorry. There we go. part of the guide system. Maybe I get that chain out of there finally. Seems like a slinky. You never want to cooperate. Come on now. Just does not want to leave its nest. I fell through the hole in the bottom, that's why. You guys want to continue to watch the struggle? You guys only think it's you, right? Nope, happens to me too. I gotta get that out of there. Wouldn't come out because it's got one more keeper right there. So I gotta take that off, then the chain will come out. So I'm to the beading stage of putting spatulas in there, trying to separate it. There's a boss on this side of the case, and I figured that maybe they want everything to stay with that side because that's the side you tap away. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. But I figured we got a kind of we got a seam going all the way around with putty knives. Just do my best to try to walk the cases apart. That's too tight for that one. Seems like this is the end that's fighting me the most. The other side kind of opened up fairly quickly. Three's a party. You guys aren't even looking at what I'm looking at, are you? Slackers looking away. Right. See if that does anything for us. Wrong hand. I keep remembering that. I cut into it. Right. That ain't good. So I took a plastic mallet, started wailing on the crankshaft, and that kind of it's probably pushing the bearing out of the case of that one side. She's opening. I just don't want stuff to go, you know, every which way. Make some room. I need something just a little more width to it. I kind of want to set it up on its side and lift on it, but I think we got it. Everything just shoots every direction. Parts everywhere. So I'm trying to avoid. Uh-oh. Bunch of thrust washers. You got one down here. And one here. What do you think? Would you say there? right there is a broken tooth. We gotta find out where that thrust washer came from in that gear. But we most definitely got a broken tooth on a gear. Let me get this squared away and I'll show you. Alright, you're off the stand, but let me get you a little close to go see. Broken, broken, and broken. That would definitely make for an issue when those two kind of meet together and stuff goes all different directions. I'm going to eyeball the other ones and see if possibly those teeth got in and broke anything else. That's what we're going to need to go for. I don't know if they have. I got to try to find a exploded view of parts for these and then see if we can go get that guy and that guy. We should be able to put everything back together by just taking our time and doing and undoing the stacks, you know what I mean? Let's see if we can rotate it. Those two are skipping right now. See if we can get this one to turn. Get it back in the groove. I'll take some time to go do that on my own. You guys don't need to be staring at me trying to fudge with this one-handed. You get the idea. So we found the damage. Worst thing I was afraid of was going to take it apart and like, oh no, it wasn't in there. It was all for nothing. So that's it. We're going to go do a little parts list. So that's the aftermath. Not too bad. Again, the hardest part is just not knowing. The other side of the case. Some sludge in the bottom. Again, it is probably 40 years old, more than that. And the little tings that we heard was two of the teeth falling out of the case when we opened it. And that seems to be all the damage. We're missing one tooth here and two teeth there. I've only found two of the three, but I haven't really looked like behind this gasket and stuff yet and see where it's hiding. I would suspect it's going to wash out eventually, or somebody changed the oil in between and it fell out. I should check the drain pan for me. So that's it. I'm going to go look on eBay, see what's available and all that kind of stuff, and see if I can find those two gears. If I end up finding maybe a whole lower unit or what the thing is we can steal parts from. And the other is going to be a engine gasket set. And just wait on parts. I believe this is where that stuff that fell out, that thrust washer was there. I believe that gear was there. And one other thrust washer was down there. And I think we're okay. We're going to go find an exploded view. Obviously it doesn't go there. We'll find an exploded view and just double check everything, but I think that should be it. So I'm probably going to wrap this one up right here, guys. I want to thank all you for watching, commenting, and subscribing. And hopefully the parts are coming in soon on this one, because I do not want to put this one away and then attack it later, because all your memory goes out the window and then you have what's affectionately known as a basket case. So we don't want that to happen. Hey guys, how are you? Part of having a YouTube channel, I guess one of the perks from it is you get contacted by different companies and they want to send you stuff to use in your videos, and this is one of those opportunities. And what that would be is Grip Tools contacted me, and then they sent me to a link to the website and said, you want some tools to use in your videos, feel free to pick and choose. So I went on their list and I picked some stuff out, and lo and behold, they mailed me a package. So I figured we'll take a blade, slice it open, and we'll see what we got. I sent them a fairly large list too, and I just said, you know, whatever you want to send from that list. Alright. That is a nice size tray. It looks bigger than, I was thinking it was the one that I had. Where'd it go? I think it's holding some crap somewhere. So, some nice magnetic trays. I like the size of that one. Another tray. A deep one. Yet another tray. They look bigger than they were in the pictures. Good. That. A screwdriver set. We'll see how they hold up. 2000 lumen flashlight. Looks like it holds quite a few batteries. See how that is? LED. Socket holder. And O-ring assortment set. I think this was it metric? No, SAE. But it's a larger, you know, the normal set does not go this large, so it's nice that it has the larger pieces in that. Flex light. Ooh. Socket holders. Checking what the numbers are. Yeah. So you probably, I wonder if you could slide it from metric to standard. Looks like it's got a, yeah. So if you slide that, I bet you it switches to metric, which it does. Cool. One of those. 50 foot of air hose. Rubber. See how that does over the winter. Actually, there's two of them. They're both 50s, both 3/8. Pack of bungees. A light that's 360. You hit it twice, both sides light up? There you go. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that before. Yet another flashlight. We'll open that one later and get an education on it. Some of that. These are left-handed drill bits, and what's good about a left-handed drill bit is when you break something off, you're drilling in reverse, so you stay in the capacity as you're drilling into it. It'll work its way right out of the hole. So I didn't have a set of those. I think those would be kind of cool. If we have something broken, we'll give them a shot. Heat shrink hose. And a metric line wrench set, which is good because I do not have a... I got some metrics, but it's never the ones that I need for doing what I'm doing. So we'll see how well they hold up to doing some VW brake lines. Clampy. A sludge-o-matic. I think this is a dead blow. I'm not sure. And I believe that is it, guys. That is really cool, and I'm glad that Grip contacted me and set me up with all this stuff. That's awesome of them, and I really appreciate it.